Captain AIG, an actor.
Let him fight here. Leave him.
You don't already start our car. On top of waiting. On top of money where you are coming. On top of money where you are coming. Leave the car for them.
Enter for where?
Leave the car.
Enter where?
Leave the car.
Enter where?
That is what he's supposed to. If he says sorry,
Coming now, we don't
if
know.
he says
This
sorry,
affects
this is
them.
our
You can lose your job. You can lose your job. You can lose your job.
What happened?
You can lose your job.
That's okay.
What do we do? What do we do?
That's okay.
Because of one way, now you want to kill us.
That's okay.
What did happen?
See your.
What did happen?
They fight now.
You never lose.
You go pay my car. That's okay. You go pay my car. That's okay. That's okay.
No, go.
that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
You spoil the car. What's the amount? Anything we want to make happen. Every time, what do we do? For how much do we want to collect? What do we do? What did we do?
So that's why they put the policeman.
I mean, see the put. Bro, you want to? You want to?
The video.
We came out of bed. We've been here since when? Even if it's us. We break our gun, they won't shoot. What did we do? What did we do? What did we do? Bros, you don't have any. We do. Every time, what did happen? Why are you shouting? What did this one? Somebody just come out. Somebody just come out now. I'm trying to.
And I want to, on behalf of the government and the entire people of Lagos State, through the CP, to commend ASP Rabo for show of patience, you know, a decorum and what is expected of a police officer. And I want to implore all other officers to see that indeed there will be times when, you know, you'll be provoked. And I want to implore all other officers to see that indeed there will be times when, you know, you'll be provoked. Restraint is the word, you know, and see it, you know, continually as, yeah, there are some members of also the general public that can be very violent. Please also that are in a police formation to use ASP Sunday Rabo as a good case for others. Thank you very much, CP, and I want to wish you men all the very best. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Uzo Pamela Ipejoku. I'm known as Pamela Nin on Twitter and Instagram. Yesterday I made a tweet stating how my mother had to celebrate her birthday in the prison because of network, and it had claimed that the article was too long for them to read, and I totally understand because somebody reached out to me and was like, Pamela, I'm at work, so I can't really read this now, but I'll retweet anyways. So I don't just want you guys to just retweet. I want you guys to know the story, and if there's any way you can help us out, please do it. Any help at all, there's no help that is too much. If anybody you can call, anybody that can intercede for us, please do. Your prayers too are important. So I'll give the story. You want to know something, just know it in full. So please, if you can take out your time to just read everything on Azuka Jipose's page on Facebook, honestly, I really appreciate it. At least you have the full idea of everything what I've been going through. So I'll just tell the story from my own side now. So last year, how it started, okay, This is the second arrest that is happening of my dad. Last year, I got a call from a strange number saying, Uzo, sorry, be strong for your daddy. I know what's happening. It will be hard for you guys now. All this kind of talk. And I'm like, I don't understand. Which one is be strong for my daddy? Which kind of talk is this one? Obviously, you guys know where my mind. I was scared to my bone marrow. I was praying in my mind. Immediately, I don't even know what I replied. That man said, well, I hung up and called my daddy immediately. I didn't want to call my mother to ask what happened to daddy. I wanted to hear from my daddy directly because me, I don't want to hear that. God forbid, okay, God. And I was, Mommy, one strange man called me telling me to take heart. I should be strong for daddy. What's happening? And I called daddy. Daddy was not sounding like daddy. I'm not sure it's daddy that is with his phone. Next thing, my mom told me that I don't know where they told you. I was trying not to tell you. I was trying not to tell you because I know that you'll be so worried. I didn't want to get you so worried. I mean, Mommy, what happened to daddy? Friends, no one get worried. Next time I tell you crying. What happened to daddy? She now said, you see, this is why I don't want to tell you. You will start crying. I said, okay, sorry, I'm not crying. Just tell me. She now told me that they ambushed your father. Yes, that he was coming back from a burial he went for in the village, and next thing, law of police.
Wait a minute.
Presenting King Akeem's son from America.
And my mom's.
And his mom's.
Children, this is your brother.
Hey, Quay. I'm sorry I slept with your man.
This happened before we even met.
It's not like you're the first man I've ever been with.
What did you just say about the other men?
Coming to America, now it's coming to me.
I always thought that Mika was going to be queen.
A woman isn't allowed to rule Zamunda. It's the law.
Did it ever occur to you that Mika wanted to be your heir?
Would you dare banish me from my own bedroom?
How you doing, King?
I'm getting it from everywhere. I have upset my family.
You must be strong.
And General Izzy would love nothing more than to take over Zamunda.
Raise it higher.
I'm a king,
Put your hands together.
Like that.
Say it again.
Give me all.
It's party over here.
It promises to be an exciting and amazing movie at the same time.
Almost ready to become a prince.
Almost. It is time.
Ceremonial circumcision.
Bring forward.
They're gonna sharpen your tool, nephew.
Coming to America, now it's coming to me. I'm a king, I'm a king, I'm a king.
And they say these are the leader of tomorrow. How they be leaders?
I go use that for this one. I'm just my own opinion. Thank you.
Truthfully, there is strength in numbers. Nigerians went out on mass to protest against the special anti-rebel squad. This past week in Nigeria was a hit. When I mean hit, H-E-A-T, it was really hot in the sense that Nigerians and Nigerian celebrities led strategic, peaceful protests in different locations in Nigeria. Even Nigerians in diaspora helped with the protest. The like of Mike Edwards, he did it in London. Adekunle Gold, that is not in the country at the moment, did it in Houston. And even international bodies joined in the movement because as it is, SARS is not just a trend, but a global movement for Nigerians fighting for their own safety in their own country. After all has been said and done, the IGP in the person of General Muhammadu Adamu declared yesterday that SARS has been dissolved.
The Special Anti-Robbery Squad of the Nigerian Police, otherwise known as SARS, is hereby dissolved.
And now they are going to look into it to restructure, dissolve them into other units. But then, is this thing actually the truth? Like in Nigeria, what we believe in is action speaks louder than voice. You have said it, but are you really going to implement it? Because in Nigeria, fighting for your own safety and other basic amenities is actually not adding up. Where does this actually make sense, and where does this leave us as Nigerians to be safe in our own country? On the lighter note, after being dragged on the Twitter platform, Toyin Aimaku also took her own protest, a grassroots protest, in a location where she said that she was shooting a movie. She led her own protest against us, and we actually saw what she did. Even other, other people, other celebrities, Nigerian celebrities, people in entertainment world, I mean, people were literally tired. But then, for those that said they are going to hold their own protest this week, I think you guys just need to calm down and chill about that, because as it is, SARS has already been dissolved. But Davido that said he was going to do his own this week, and Naira Marley, people are already telling them that they are already on their own. But then it is a good thing to know that when we all as Nigerians come together in solidarity, there's actually something. Looking to Saraki that he should have abolished and he should have, uprooted that seat in Kwara State in 2017 when he had the chance to. But he did not. But then it's just good news to know that this sort of a thing has been dissolved. Even Rema went to the height of taking his dreads off, saying that the fact that he has dreads on doesn't mean he is a criminal. What's your name?
My name is Big Flo. That's like I'm popularly known as Big Flo.
Alright.
I'm a choreographer.
Oh, nice. Okay, nice. So what do you have to say about this whole SARS thing?
Yeah, for me, in fact, as if like this, I don't want to speak English. I want to speak English because I'm in Nigeria. Do you understand? English is a bold language. I'm just tell my people right now. Do you understand? Right now, SARS, they don't do one too much. They don't do one, so they feel on food like carbon lunch. As if like this, I love the power when Nigerians youth come out. Because God will bless those people, will inspire, will motivate those youths to come out. That is the best thing. For those youths to come out and protest. Do you know what that brought me? Like you could tell so many changes like he entered the game, people change, government Sienna. So the youth guys know they get power. Do you understand? Now this is what I want to tell my people out there. Bro, anywhere where una dey, now una be the government. Now una be the government. Make nobody papa come and make una feel like say, now them be the government. Now you wey be the youth be the government. Do you understand? Nobody should put you on any damn place to make him or her feel like they are the government. If you come together, it is power. If you're alone, then trust me, it is not power. Because of we came together as Nigerians, and what's happened? We made it to the top. You could see changes everywhere. Nigeria police, I want you guys to look at yourself, work on yourself, work with yourself, understand yourself, and put people who understand that work in power, rather putting people who are not understandable, you understand, in power. The only thing I have to say is God bless Nigerians for coming out. I love you guys. see when I get power.
What's your name, please?
My name is Chibuzo.
Okay, Chibuzo, what do you have to say about the SARS issue that has been happening in Nigeria for some time?
The SARS issue is very bad. The main thing, they are not going for the big boy. They are going with those ones that are not the big boy. They are killing them. It's very bad. It's bad.
Have you had a personal encounter?
Oh no, I never had a personal encounter with them before. But the only thing, where I be seeing from newspaper, look at what SARS is doing, and it's very wrong. And moreover, they will follow people to their bank account. If they have their this thing, they won't go collect money study. They will just follow them along. Before you know that, they will take the money, which is very bad. It's not good.
Okay, so now the IGP said they are going to ban them. Okay, do you think it's the truth, or they are just trying to lead us on?
The thing about Nigeria is not true. Nigeria is controversial. That is the way they do their own things. That the world is not balanced. You understand? What they say they will do, they will not do it at the right time. They will do it at the wrong time, which is very bad.
Okay, so now what do you have to say to people just for their own safety's sake, even though SARS end up not being abolished or banned?
SARS being not abolished or banned, they have to ban them for people's life to be safe. That is it.
All right, thank you so much for
your time.
Welcome. Yeah.
Okay, this SARS about Nigeria. Actually, I will worry about your bed now. Please, I'm more used to because Now
Flow. Anyone we want to talk.
This House of 18, make a really ban there because normally, guy man no fit just dey say as in just dey struggle, you not get money. At the end, you can't make money SARS. They can't disturb the guy up and down. So this House of 18, what the government really do now really good thing. Make a your ban them for life. And I'm just my own opinion. Like me now, for the past months now when I dey Lagos, I dey find work. I never see work sef. When I can't get money now, SARS now, they can't trouble me up and down. Actually, I go use SARS for this one. I'm just my own opinion. Thank you.
Orúkọ mi ni Babatunde. So, ẹjọ́ àwọn people are need one for anything because of say wọ́n ṣe wà is part of the study fẹ́ pa àwọn ọ̀gbọ̀n wọ́n ń pè wàhálà. Iṣẹ́ tó dẹ̀ gbélé wọn lọ́wọ́ wọn ṣe. For instance, tẹ́mi ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ wọ́n máa wá máa kàn disturb everybody. So, nǹkan tí ò kàn wọ́n náà ń ṣe. So, wọ́n ń jọ ìná ọlọ́pàá padà wọ́n máa yẹ mi as my own. Need one for anything.
Okay, but like one-on-one, ṣé wọ́n ti wá ara sí ni?
For instance, like one of my customers, tó yẹ pé àjọ lọ́jọ́ ra nǹkan. University lọ́jọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ yẹn student ní Nàìjíríà ló wà. Wọ́n gba fóònù ọwọ́ ẹ̀, wọ́n láti máa pọ̀ bẹ̀ kó lọ sí ATM, kó lọ gbowó bá wọn. ATM wọ́n pè POS wọ́n padà lọ lọ́jọ́ yẹn. So ó dẹ̀ bí tó tó ti ṣe fún wọn lọ́jọ́ yẹn. So gbogbo irú àwọn kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn àárín ìdẹ̀ tó kán máa lọ.
My name is
All right. Okay, so tell us, what do you think about SARS generally?
SARS, they are stupid people. Even if you know they do Yahoo, SARS will stop you for road. Check your phone. Is it a crime to look good? Is it a crime to wear good shoes? Is it a crime to have good wristwatch? Not everybody be Yahoo. You understand? I'm an entertainer. You understand? So they should just keep those rules.
Okay, now the IGP said they dissolved it. Do you think it is actually true or it's not true?
It's not true. They need to set up a panel to tell us we need a standing order that is kill them. We don't want SARS. We don't want SARS. We don't want it.
What about the life that has been lost in the process? Like they are not saying anything about it. What do you feel? What do you feel?
I felt so bad. You understand? Killing souls. We are not animals. We are humans. Eh? They don't put all those families now. They don't put them for tears. So many breadwinners, I don't kill them. Look at the story of this guy that was watching football match, Colari or what have you. He just killed that boy. They killed the picture. And they say youth are leaders out tomorrow. How they be leaders? It's painful. So they think they just kill them. I beg. We don't want to hear SARS. They must end them.
Alright, Tommy. Nice. So Tommy, what do you think about SARS in Nigeria?
Government should just look for another means. Okay, I know there are people doing their own out there, but they are just not doing it the right way. So I guess government should look for another way to look for those kind of people and not just
Okay, and what's your opinion about the protest led by Nigerian youth?
Yeah, I think it's a good start off. Like I've been looking at my social media and I really like it. I actually feel my Instagram is like so they do at the end. So like it was really impressive and I love it.
Anyway guys, that is that about that is concerned. We've heard from different people what they feel about SARS and what they want to be done to this special anti-robbery squad. Anyway guys, do not forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, and the notification bell so that you will be notified whenever we post. Till I come your way next time on the Kaka Show, my name is Sobi. Remember to always stay safe.
The annual global celebration of the woman is here again, and coincidentally, the first woman and the first African to be appointed as the DG of the World Trade Organization has just resumed office. Interesting, right? There are thousands of things to be known about this woman, and KOKO TV has just taken this bold step of bringing things that you do not know about the wonderful Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Join me as I speak with Onyinye Iweala, the first and eldest child of the Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala family. This is Layo Shobo, and you're watching KOKO TV Nigeria.
This new appointment, how did it go down? And then, first off,
How was the process? How was the process for you, for dad, for your brothers, and even for mom? How was the process? And then when it eventually came, how did it go down? You know, the celebration and everything.
Right.
How did it go down?
I mean, the first thing I'll say is that this process is very arduous and it's very stressful. And of course, the people feeling the acute stress was number one, my mom, for sure, felt the acute stress, but also my father. You know, he has been a fantastic support, you know, also for my mom. And so he, you know, he's out there trying to like keep her calm, keep her sane in the midst of a very grueling and sometimes confusing process. So there was stress on him. There was also stress on my aunts and my uncles, you know, because they're also trying to support my mom in this whole process. And then similarly for my siblings, Uzo, Kechuka, and Uchechi. So I think the acuity of the stress decreased, you know, it's because I mean, basically what I was saying was, this is the strangest job application and interview process I have ever witnessed. And it was muted because we're in a pandemic. So in times when it's not a pandemic, the candidates are expected to fly across, you know, then Senegal, then, you know, going from country to country, meeting with all of the ministers to try to convince them that you're the best candidate for the job. So there's travel involved. And that was muted because of the pandemic, but it still meant there were multiple Zoom calls, this call, that call. Then secondly, you have almost like an exam of sorts. So not only do you have to have travel, political skill, you know, and diplomacy, but you also have to know what you're talking about. This is trade, you know. And I've never seen my mom. She was like, preparing. You know, my mom is like a development economist. The lady is brilliant. She knows all sorts of stuff. She was the finance minister for Nigeria. You know, she was involved in customs, trade, all that stuff. And even my mom was sitting down, preparing, studying, making sure that she understood the details related to trade. You know, because when they interview you, they ask you those details. They want to make sure they're getting the best person for the job. So when you combine those different kinds of skill sets needed with the stress of the situation, add to that the political overlay, you know, which happened with the initial Trump administration, first going along with the process and then at the last minute, like saying, oh no, we don't think it was a fair process. And then being in limbo while we were waiting to see, okay, is the new US administration with Biden, are they gonna agree? It was very stressful.
But at the end of it all, it came out and joyful. So she resumed. She resumed 2 days ago. How did that go? How was the celebration? How was even the celebration of the appointment?
Of the appointment itself. So I have to say, it was pretty thrilling. I mean, in the summertime when it looked like she was getting closer and closer to being the #1 pick, we were already starting to get excited. And then we went into this limbo. But I mean, when it was actually announced and they started doing television interviews in our house in Maryland, and like we could see the Zoom video of her accepting the appointment and so forth, it's mind-blowing. It's like surreal. You know, I mean, you keep saying to yourself, God is good, God is good, God is great, but it's nuts. I'm like, this lady is making history in so many different ways. Plus, she's coming at such a critical time for trade, you know, when it comes to dealing with this pandemic and a lot of collapsing economies throughout the world. And so I'm like, wow, this lady has to do all this stuff. And guess what? This lady is also my mom, you know, who calls and says, how's Adora? How's Kelechi? You know, how's Emeka? Those are my 3 kids. You know, so I'm like, on the one hand, she's trying to figure out how will I get China and the US, you know, to be at the table. But on the other hand, she's like, oh, how's Andrew doing? That's my husband, you know. How is school today? How is soccer? I'm just amazed at how she can balance that stuff. But my aunt really wanted to have some kind of celebration. And so, you know, we're kind of muted because of the pandemic, but to get everyone together, we're planning to travel to Switzerland and have some kind of celebration. Yeah.
That would be so amazing, like really. So you talked about she balancing all of these things. How do you think she does it? Because really, it baffles me. It really baffles me. And then growing up, how did this affect you? You know, our choice of career, our availability to manage and run the home. How did it affect you? How?
So I have to say that my mom provided me a phenomenal example of the struggles and then what you have to do to juggle work and life. But she showed me that it's possible, that you don't have to give up your career to be a good mother, and you don't have to give up family, children in order to have a great career. And I think that's need women to be, you know, in the public sphere, in the professional sphere. I think it's critical because I think it makes our world better. And then at the same time, I think it's really important for children to be able to see both parents involved in domestic life and involved in raising them. And I think that when you have a working mom, that means that your dad, who is a working dad, is also a parenting dad, you know. So I got to see both of them in partnership. You know, I think that's one thing I learned from both of my parents, that for either of them to succeed in their professional careers and also in raising us, that it was a partnership. And that's what I was looking for when I went to look for my husband and try to get married, and then also launch my career as a scientist and a doctor. So but I have to tell you, I don't know. I don't know how my mom does it, because now I'm living that experience. And I'm like, and she was doing all of this like 20, 30 years ago. You know, this work-life balance ideas, those things weren't as popular at the time. So one thing that my mom was really, you know, we definitely had nannies. So we'd have a nanny from Nigeria that helped us out in the home. So that, at least for when we were really young, I think that was very helpful to my mom to have that. So that was one thing until we got to about, 10, 12 years old, then we could take care of ourselves. And then the second was the partnership that she had with my father, that they really worked as a team. And then we had my extended family, uncles, aunts, cousins. If they were coming to the US, they could also like take care of us, help drive us to activities and school. So I think that was how she kind of got things together. But it's hard in the United States. It's hard where you don't have that same network of family immediately there at all times to help with childcare and family.
Okay, so when she's not working, how is she at home? How does she relax when she's not working?
Yeah, so my mom loves the water. She likes to swim. So anywhere that there's like beach, ocean, or like a swimming pool, my mom likes to be there. That's how she gets her exercise, and that's kind of what calms her. So she really likes that. And then, she's a funny person, and not so much that she's out there telling jokes, but just that she has that sense of silliness. There's a little bit of silliness and fun that's inside her. So she might just randomly start dancing and singing a song that she's making up just out of nowhere. She also likes to come up with nicknames or pet names, So she had a pet name for me and each one of my brothers, and she even has pet names for each one of her grandchildren too. So she has that lightheartedness that will just come out spontaneously.
I guess a better interview with her will let us into all of this, how she packs all of this together, because really, it still really, really, really baffles me. Okay, so talking about nicknames, likeness, what is your...
Yeah, so I think I have a really nice relationship with my mom. One of the things I remember that I really enjoyed, so when my brother was smaller, she would take us to the local fast food restaurant. We would get hot dogs, hamburgers, and then instead of sitting in the fast food restaurant to eat, she would drive us to the local park. And then, other people would have picnic blankets. My mom would spread a wrapper, so this is like picnic Nigerian style. You go get your hamburger from wherever, drive to the local park, spread the wrapper, and we would have a picnic. I love those. I really love that so much. It's one of my fondest memories from when I was little,
So let's talk about dad. You mentioned him supporting her. In what ways, in what practice? Because the world celebrates him today. Whenever we're talking about, say, oh, she couldn't have done this without a husband. So how, in what practical ways did you see him, support her? And then, was there any point in the marriage that they, as all this work structure and work schedule, was there a point?
So, I mean, like I said, marriage is a partnership and it's a give and take. And so I think what I saw with my parents is that there's an ebb and flow, you know? So there were periods of time where my dad's career needed to be emphasized. So for example, you know, after my mom moved to the United States because she had secured a job, my father couldn't just come straight away. He needed to complete training in the UK. And then when the US medical training system is structured, he then had to complete more training. So there was like a focus, okay, my mom needs to kind of hold things down while my dad is able to complete in the US. And so so there was a give and take there where my dad's career and training needed to be emphasized. Similarly, you know, came a period where my mom got these opportunities. You know, first she had an opportunity possibly to work at the United Nations. In the end, that particular opportunity didn't pan out because both of them discussed, you know, they discussed risks, benefits, balance, work out for our family. And they came to the decision that at that point, that job wasn't going to be the best for the whole family. Later on, when my mom got the opportunity to serve, you know, in government, you know, Nigeria, we had brother was still in high school, no longer. Most of us were either in college or had graduated. So, you know, I think that what happens is it's a discussion between the two of them about going to work out. And you know, I think that is that my mom has a lot of gifts and talents that can be deployed for the good of not just our family, but for the whole Nigeria at the time she served in government, and now for the world, you know. And he's so proud of her. He's so proud of her. And it moves me so much because it just demonstrates that he has a lot of respect for both what men and what women can do too. And I think that's something that not only Americans, but also Nigerians and the world can benefit. Like, pay attention, women equals. We have a lot to do. I showed that in the respect that he has for my mom and his.
Or let me say 2-3 things that you feel he really wants to achieve with this office.
Yeah, so I think she wants to use, you know, her platform and use the World Organization to improve access to vaccines for everyone in the world. And it's particularly important because of COVID-19. My mom feels like the World Trade Organization has a fundamental role to play in making sure that it's not just rich countries or highly developed nations that have access to the vaccines across the world, and therefore the people that live in those countries have access to these vaccines. So I think that's going to be one of her top priorities because, hey man, it's a global pandemic. We're all suffering because of this pandemic. So that's one thing. And I think the second thing is to bring the voices of developing nations and emerging economies to the table. You know, I think that's something that's very important to my mom. And I think it's one of the things she's going to try to emphasize.
So after her appointment, do you think she'll still want to, you know, go forth in her career, you know, taking some other appointments, or she is retiring?
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think my mom can ever retire. I don't know if that's possible. Just like every time you think, okay, yeah, she's gonna it'll be calm. We're all just gonna be calm. Then another amazing opportunity presents itself and she needs to contest, you know, because she's qualified and can bring a lot to the table. So we'll see. I can't really predict what she's gonna do, but from me personally, I find it hard to believe that she's ever gonna retire. So.
Wow. Well, let's see what comes up next. Let's see.
Exactly.
We'll just be here waiting to, you know, hear the good news. Okay, speaking about our choice of style, I think once or twice I have seen her, you know, dressed the English way. She's always repping Africa. What do you think brought about this? Why is she doing that?
Yeah, I mean, it's really for practical reasons. So, you know, when she was going to work, you can get a lot of these outfits made, you know, up and down, the Ankara, everything for very reasonable prices, you know, and they make unique outfits that look good, that help you stand out. And it's easy to pick out an ensemble. So practical purposes for that reason. But then secondly, like what you said, like she's trying to represent for Africa. She's trying to represent for Nigeria. She's trying to represent for textile manufacturers. You know, my mom wants to encourage the Nigerian economy. She wanted to encourage the Nigerian economy to diversify, right? Like we should depend on things aside from oil. Oil is great, but like we should have other things just in case. And one of the things that Nigeria is so good at is our textiles, our fashion, our creativity. So I think in her own way, she was, you know, buy Nigerian, wear Nigerian. The same way the US people do it all the time. You know, I'm American too. So I'm like, I'm proud to be an American, made in America, made in USA. My mom is trying to show Nigerian Africans, we can do that. We make great stuff. Let's buy this stuff. Let's represent. And, you know, Nigerians are already doing that. So it's something to promote and encourage.
Well, I really hope this the dress sense, the clothing thing of of working in a corporate world. I hope it happens so fast. I hope everyone gets to that level that we can say, okay, I can go to work and wear Ankara on a Monday. I really hope it comes through. Oh my God! I just finished speaking with Dr. Miye Iweala, and it's really an amazing all through, and she assured that she had fun as she just watched. Stay tuned to KOKO TV as we bring you many more exclusives. I am Layo Shobo. Thank you for joining, and bye for now.